Hello and welcome to another update video about Bloktopia. Just want to give you a brief price update because yesterday I talked about Bloktopia. I spent quite a bit of money to buy some tokens in the end, and I'm quite happy I did because I see the potential in this project. It's up 12% already from one day to another. I mean, it did already do 120x since it was being made available for the public to buy, and I see so much potential. If you don't know what Bloktopia is, please check out my video from yesterday. In my view, it has high potential, but I don't want to give you any recommendation for buying. You know, that is essentially your own decision, and I always emphasize, please do your own research. But well, this has quite a short price history, only a few weeks, so there isn't much that we can talk about here. But since it actually started, you know, the people obviously were buying it, but then the early investors, they also dumped it quite quickly, which is usually what happens, you know, when the early investors get it very cheap, it is released to the public, price is driven high, and then the very early investors, they sell for a huge profit, maybe like a 500x or whatever, when they manage to get it through a initial coin offering. So they dumped it, but what then happened, luckily, we found a bottom here. We found a low pretty much at this price here, not even at a cent, and that is where we formed a low. Now, that is where people get panic, you know, people panicking, or where, you know, at least there is a bottom forming. So either people are panicking or people are going to buy in. And what here happened here, and that is why I'm so bullish on it, we had a bottom forming here. This is the 4-hour chart, and you can see that wick with a long wick to the downside, that very small candle body, very bullish because the price was driven down, but the buyer stepped in at this level. So this is a very significant low. Since then, we've been making higher highs, and we have then come down again in a corrective move, and we found support at the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level, which is very bullish. Yeah, the 0.5, if you get there and people are continuing to buy in, that is quite bullish. We then made a lower high back to the 0.214 Fibonacci retracement level, another lower high back to again the same level pretty much, and then we came to an ascending trend line. So you could identify an ascending trend line here in an uptrend, and we made higher lows, we also made lower highs, pretty much you could call it a neutral triangle here that we were forming. From here then, whoops, I just moved that, nope. From here then, we continued our move up, and that is currently the uptrend within which we are currently. So again, we moved up, made another low, well, a higher low than in the next instance, and again, this was the same Fibonacci retracement level, the 0.214 where we retraced to. From here we moved on, climbed to the next Fibonacci retracement level, which is basically not even a retracement level, it is the 100% where we had that previous high. And that was then really when it started to become very bullish, because here we made, for the first time after we marked that high here on the 13th of October, a higher high. Yeah, so we came above, and here that is why we see that huge green red candle. From that move then, we didn't even retrace very much. We climbed above the next 1.272 extension level, retesting it at the moment, and I mean, we're now at 4 cents while we speak. We're going up, and I'm so happy because, you know, I showed you that project as well before we started to moon again. This was a corrective phase, a very bullish one, yeah. So there was a bit of back and forth. People were trying to find out, was this really a low here? Was it really a bottom? Are we going down further? But we only touched that support level here once. Since then we've been going up, and the candles are getting bigger and bigger. We have seen some volume here as well in that move to the upside. We're now at 4 cents, new all-time high, and from here I think the next main level that we're going to get to before we retrace again is 4.4 cents at the 1.618 extension level. After that we can see 5.2 cents and 6.6 cents. And what I want to talk about really is this, obviously the Bloktopia, it's a micro cap, and it's part of just those metaverse projects, right? Virtual gaming, metaverses, virtual worlds. So I think this whole concept really has a potential to outperform maybe even DeFi, at least, you know, certain DeFi projects. I think it is going to grow very, very quickly, because I think the whole gaming industry is going to move, not the whole gaming industry, but a lot of video game developers and like parts of the industry are going to move over to these virtual worlds, because that is what essentially is getting more and more realistic. It's getting more and more interesting. And it's also the technology allows it these days. And then you've got some interesting things like NFTs, you know, sort of, you know, real money in this world. And the NFTs are gaining in value, and, you know, so interesting. So yeah, here also on the RSI, we had another buy signal. Again, we are overheated, but that's just because we are so bullish. So at some point there will be another retracement. So we had here, we were quite, we came to that high here. We had to retrace because we were in the overbought territory. So probably maybe we get to the 1.618 extension level here at 4.4 cents before we're going to retrace, or we do it before. But I think this is currently, it has a bright future. It's going to go up. And I'm so happy I showed you that project early, still early. I mean, not super early, because super early would have been here at 1 cent or whatever. But yeah, it's got good potential. Unfortunately, here on the daily, you don't really have a lot of information about the indicators and oscillators, because there's just not enough information. But the daily shows that the RSI is already at 80. So yeah, I mean, 4.1 cent now. So better upload the video now. But yeah, hope you let me know what you think about Bloktopia. Did you take any action after I showed you that video yesterday? And yeah, let me know what you think. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.